about to execute. Oh, damn, this guy is right on my ass. Holy shit. And he's drinking Starbucks or something. Anyways, I had a conversation with a friend from high school the other day, and I was telling him, God, I feel like this dude is a cop, because he's like right on my ass. I don't think it's a cop. In fact, I'm 99% sure it's not, but damn, he's right on my ass. But anyways, I was having this conversation with my high school friend, and I was telling him about these stories that I had. Oh, let's see if he wants to pass me. Go ahead, buckaroo. Oh, now he's not gonna go. Okay. Anyways, I had a conversation with my high school friend, and I was telling him about all these crazy adventures that I had in Asia and abroad and stuff. Like, for instance, I've never told this story on the air. I've told it to many people in real life, and it seems to be a crowd pleaser. And I can go into... Actually, fuck it, I'll tell the whole story. So, I was in Shanghai, China, with my study abroad group. This was like 2 years ago, or maybe even 3 at this point. I don't even remember. I'm getting old. But anyways, we were there, and me and my buddy, for anonymity's sake, let's say his name's John, even though you know who you are if you're listening. But me and my buddy, we went out to just kind of figure out what there was to see. We didn't really have a lot of homework to do, so me and him were just super adventurous guys, and we set out to hit the town. So the first place we kind of stumbled upon, we're in Shanghai, so like it's basically you're on another planet, right? 2 white guys from America, we're fucking crazy freaks, and everyone there is like, who are these people that escaped from the zoo, So like everybody's staring at you, right? So we're just walking around in fucking La La Land on another planet, and we're just trying to find like a bar to go to, and there's hardly any Wi-Fi that you can safely and securely get on. So we're looking for like a place with Wi-Fi where somebody maybe speaks English. And I gotta look for my exit too. Well, anyways, we stumble upon this place. I think it was called Oscars or something like that. And we walk in, and it was a total expat bar, perfect for what we were looking for. And there were a bunch of like British dudes in there, all old white hairs. I don't know if they were transplants or if they were just visiting, but we started talking to them, and we're like, hey, do you guys know any places we can go party? We're just college kids looking for somewhere to let loose, sow our wild oats. And they're talking to us, and this one guy, the Canadian dude, was like, yeah, you should go to this bar district. It's full of bars. Shanghai is the craziest place to party in Asia. All of Asia. I've lived and partied in Japan and all these places. China, and Shanghai is the number one. He's like, the girls are the sluttiest, all this, blah, blah, blah. And we're thinking, hell yeah, brother. So where is this place? So he's like, all right, I'll just show you. So we leave the bar. We're a few pints in. And he takes us to this grocery store, buys us a couple beers, first of all, and you can drink on the street in China. So we're walking down the street drinking. He's like, all right, if you go to, down this way, take a right at the Texaco, blah, 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 do a Yui at the Native American statue, you'll find it. So we parted ways with him, and he was telling us about this bar that he used to own. I think it was called Judy's or something like that. It was like a strip club / bar, I don't know. He was telling us all sorts of crazy shit. And so we follow the directions, and we do come up on a bar street, but it's literally like every bar is closed. Looks like they got shut down by the cops or something. So we're like, oh man, this sucks. So we keep walking, and I think we went to a Mexican restaurant, believe it or not. Ate some food, maybe had some more drinks, and then we're like, all right, let's just keep looking for something to do, because we didn't want to go back to the hotel and be lame. So we walked around, and just, I don't know, by divine intervention, we walk on the street, and we see this Tetris piece outside of it's like a doorway, but the entrance is like Tetris pieces. And so We're like, what the hell is this? It's like neon white. I can still see it in my memories right now. And so we go up there, and this little Chinese man pops out from nowhere and comes up to this podium. He's wearing a tuxedo and has like gelled spiky hair, and he goes, "What's up, guys? Come on in." And we're like, "Oh no, this place looks kind of pricey. We don't really want to spend a whole lot of money, because we don't know if we heard all these stories about people, all hawkers, first of all trying to bring people in to kill and rape them or whatever, and also, we've heard all these stories about just people scamming. I mean, if I'd have seen all the Serpent ZA videos that I've seen now before I went to China, holy shit, I had no idea about all the scams and stuff going on in China. But anyways, we're kind of like weary of this guy, especially because it's like a movie character. It looked like Chinese Mr. Bean, and he speaks like really, really good English, which is kind of rare, being in mainland China. So he's like, no, come on, it's cool, you don't have to spend that much money. We'll get you in. And we're like, oh man, this hawker dude, he won't leave us alone. We're like, nah, dude, we don't know. We're gonna think about it. And he goes, you know what? Are you guys college students? And we go, yeah. And he goes, I was a college student. I went to college in New York or whatever, and I understand. You know what? Come here. And he brings us up to the podium, and he gives us these wristbands, gives us each a wristband. He's like, here, I'm gonna let you guys drink for free because I understand what it's like to be a college student. And we're like, what the? So he's like, all right, here you go, come with me. So he brings us into the club, and you walk in, and pretty much a lot of the clubs in China have like booths surrounding the kind of the walls. So, and that's not just China; Japan is like that too. But a lot of the clubs in Asia, they'll have booths just around all the walls, and then there was booths everywhere. Chili burp. And then like a big ass stage, and at the front of the stage near the entrance of the building or the club, there was a DJ booth, and with a live DJ. So they're just like bumping music. I don't remember what they were playing, but it was like modern American music, I think, or something, some sort of techno. Could have been, I don't remember. But anyways, so he sits us at a table like right in front of the DJ booth, and we're like, holy crap, this is awesome. And he brings us a big big bucket on ice with just like 20 beers in it, and like a brand new bottle of I don't know, it wasn't Hennessy or something, but it was some sort of whiskey or something, like a brand new bottle, and just corks it right there for us. He's like, here you go. The only rules are don't let anyone else drink this, and if you're gonna fight, go outside. And we're like, yes sir, and so he goes, those are the only rules, have fun. And we're like, holy shit, this is awesome. So we start drinking the alcohol or whatever, and oh fuck, that sucks, I dropped my phone. Wow, that really sucks. Oh, got it. There we go. Alright, so we're in there at the front of this club. So like anyone who was in there and paying half attention saw us walk in, saw this guy show us, and is just like staring at us because, we're two white dudes in China, so like we're sticking out like sore thumbs. But anyways, immediately after this dude leaves, I think his name was Jimmy or something, which is fitting, right? But anyways, after he leaves, immediately these two girls come up to our table and start cracking bottles. And we're like, holy no, that's rule number 2, you can't do that. And thankfully one of them spoke English, so she was like, all right, I get it, we'll go grab our own. So and the other one didn't speak English, but she was good looking, and I think she understood, and the girl translated. So we're like talking to him, I guess, and you know how when you're in like loud club and you're like, so what's your name, that kind of stuff. So it's like one of those, and we talked to them for a while, and eventually they left. I don't really remember what we talked about or how long they were with us, but anyways, they leave, this black American dude came up to us. I think this was the same night. I get a lot of this stuff confused because it's been so long and there were so many nights that we went out like this, that I went out. And so this black dude comes up, talks to us, and he's American, and he's like telling us like, hey, you got friends you can bring to the club? I think he was like a, not, what do you call it, like a promoter or something. And he was cool. And then these two dudes came up. I don't know where they were from. They weren't Chinese, but they were like Arabic or something. They came up to us and they tried to drink our alcohol, and we're like, no. And then Jimmy comes over and says, no, these guys are okay, you can let them drink. And we're like, what the? Okay. Weird, but you know, you're the boss. So we hang out with them, and the whole time while these people were coming up to our table, we had seen this pack of just supermodels just walking by, like doing circles, all in a group, Chinese supermodels with like skimpy dresses on, just doing rounds around this whole place. And obviously that caught our attention, and so Jimmy came over to check on us. You know, he'd come over regularly and ask us how we're doing, blah blah blah. And he came over once while we were by ourselves, and we're like, hey Jimmy, who are those girls? Can you get them to come hang out with us? And he goes, oh no, those girls are too expensive for you guys. And we're like, what the? Are they hookers? You know, like, crazy. He just kind of said it and walked away, and we're like, what the? You know, like, what kind of place is this? And so we keep drinking, and like, also at this whole time the DJ was right in front of us playing, and then at some point the DJ's like, oh, I'm leaving, or they're like, oh, welcome, blah blah blah. They make this big announcement. They're like, please welcome so and so to the stage, or something like that. And so we turn around because the stage is behind us. We're literally like at the front of it. It's like a runway, like, you know, Milan Fashion Week or something. We're at the front of the stage, or at the end of the runway. And so we turn around, and I shit you not, I think it looked like an Iggy Azalea impersonator, this girl. She comes out with like girls in, I think, like angel costumes behind her with like big ass bottles of, I don't even know what it was, some sort of liquor. And she comes out, it's like Iggy Azalea looking girl, and she starts singing, and like, you know, blah blah blah, and she's like singing or doing her rap stuff, and all the angel backup singers are like pouring shots into Chinese dudes' mouths that are like looking like seals on the boardwalk in San Francisco, like, and so they're like pouring drinks in their mouth. And I'm just like, oh, what is going on, dude? Am I dreaming? And so this whole big shebang, it's like lights everywhere and just craziness. And at this point, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? This is crazy. And my friend who's with me is just like super fucking drunk. I mean, I was pretty drunk too, but I was too anxious and like nervous to be having a good time. And I was kind of like, am I just gonna get drugged and wake up in a box somewhere without my kidney, or what, you know? And so we both decided we need to get out of here. And oh, by the way, if you're listening, you know who you are. Please correct me, text me and correct me if I missed anything or omitted any details from the story. But anyways, yeah, we're like, we got to get out of here. So we start to leave, and we go up to the front door, and Jimmy catches us while we're outside. He's like, where are you guys going? And we're like, we want to kind of head home. It's getting late, you know, want to get back to the hotel. And he goes, all right, well, do you need help calling a cab? And we're like, yeah, man, but it's just like, we've heard about cabs scamming people, because apparently that's a thing that cabs do sometimes to foreigners in China. They'll like take you all over town without telling you, just because they know you don't speak Chinese, and they'll try to charge you more. And we go, we're really worried about this, because that, and also, you know, certain cabs will just up the price after a certain time because they can, and they're like, they know you're the only option to get home because the metro's closed or whatever. So we're like, oh man, we don't want to get screwed. And he's like, it's all right, I'll help. So he hails a cab and talks to the guy, and then we give him the card, and he tells him where we're going. And I had to use, I don't know if it wasn't WeChat, but it was like some sort of offline maps app, and I like tried to keep track of where we were going the whole time to make sure he didn't scam me. I didn't know what I was gonna do if he did. Chili burp. But anyways, we did make it back, and that was one of the crazy stories that I have from my trip, and the point of the whole video that I want to make is that I was talking to my high school buddy about all these trips, and he said this to me, this was recently, last week. I was telling him about that story and a couple other ones, and no one had ever really said this to me, but he's like, damn man, you just kind of went into things without really thinking like you could get hurt or something. And I was like, yeah, and that's just kind of how you got to do things sometimes. That's what makes you an interesting, you know, awesome person. I mean, obviously you got to be mindful of the situations you're in, and you know, that was a little bit of a scary situation, but I felt like I could handle it, and I'm a pretty confident person when it comes to that thing. Like, I love being in cities and, you know, keeping my own and making sure I'm okay and stuff, and obviously it's a little different for like women or kids or other people, you know, so you got to be careful with what you're doing. But yeah, I think people should definitely be yes men or yes women or whatever, and just say yes to pretty much any and all opportunities. I mean, so long as they're plausible, you know. You don't want to be like, sure, Prince from Nigeria, I'll send you my bank account info. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But yeah, that's what I wanted to get at in this video, is just say yes more times. Be a yes man. When opportunities come knocking, especially when you're on a study abroad. I mean, that's what I was going for. You know, I was like, I'm only gonna be here, well, maybe not once. I want to go back to China really bad, but I was like, I'm only here for a short amount of time. Like, I got to do as much as I can. So of course I was gonna be a yes man, and that was kind of the theme of my whole trip. And I'm super glad I did that, because there's other people, not only on my trip, but I'm sure in every study abroad ever, that just don't do that. And it's like, what do you have to show for your time over there? You just sat in the hotel? Lame. But anyways, if you're going on a study abroad soon, or thinking about going on a study abroad, or just traveling in general, I mean, I can tell you a million of these stories where I was just like, all right, while I was just traveling by myself or whatever. And I think that's probably what this channel is going to be about, is just me and, you know, travel stories and stuff like that. So comment below or send me a message or something if you'd want to hear more stories like this. But yeah, just be a yes man, say yes to more opportunities. Obviously don't be a dumbass. You know, you got to be mindful. And I mean, if you are a dumbass, ask me questions. I can help you, you know, figure out how to, or I can give you tips on how to stay alive and not get your kidneys taken. But yeah, I think that'll help you have way better trips in the future. So, good day.